Obviously, we've been hearing these calls for Saudi Arabia to cooperate with the Turkish authorities. Is there any sense that they're going to do that?
Well, last night, King Salman of Saudi Arabia had a phone call with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. They had discussed a joint working group. We had heard about this last week. And then there was some questions about how much cooperation would the two sides agree on. The Turkish authorities were supposed to be allowed into the Saudi consulate to search it. And then there was questions about whether or not they'd be able to do that. There does seem to be some pullback from Saudi Arabia right now in terms of the harsher rhetoric that it had responded to, and the fact that King Salman is stepping into this crisis might be a sign that Saudi Arabia is more willing to cooperate now.
And we've heard of these audio and video recordings that prove that Khashoggi was murdered. Are they likely to be released anytime soon, do you think?
I think that's unclear right now. There was a report recently that the Apple Watch that Khashoggi was apparently wearing when he had gone into the consulate was the source of at least some of these recordings. Now there's questions about would this Apple Watch technically be able to record what's alleged to be his killing, whether that Apple Watch was close enough to the phone he had left outside to be able to connect with this phone and to upload a recording. So that's one question. And importantly, the report of the fact that the Apple Watch was the source of this recording came solely from a pro-government report, although we had seen the Washington Post and the New York Times say that there are recordings. But what source was it that recorded this alleged incident, we're unclear about. Also, I was speaking to a former Turkish ambassador to the U.S. who had told me that the fact that Saudi Arabia might be involved in this investigation might not be a good sign in a way. Cooperating with the investigation is one thing, but if they carry out this investigation alongside the Turkish authorities, that would essentially mean that Saudi Arabia is investigating themselves if they were involved in this disappearance. So there's some questions about whether or not we could really find out what happened to this missing journalist if Saudi Arabia is given enough space to actually have the same level of power or authority as Turkey in investigating this.